At the beginning of the movie, it is shown that many people have died due to a virus. Then a man named John is shown, who lies in a pile of corpses, and when he regains consciousness, his whole body starts moving strangely. He sees that he is lying in a pile of dead bodies. Above, he sees a woman and asks her for help. She throws down a rope, and then she leaves. But before he leaves, John finds a gun. After getting out of this heap, he moves on, and he sees a house and loads his gun, and goes inside where some people are already there. And they discuss whether they should let this man out of this hole. When they see John, there is a commotion. Everyone gets confused when they see John. They look at each other and blame each other for the death of so many people. They don't even know whose house they are in. John tells everyone that he woke up in a pile of dead bodies, and he doesn't remember anything from before, and doesn't even know his own name. Johann tells everyone that he was kicked out by a Chinese woman. All the people are angry at the Chinese woman suddenly. A man lying down starts shouting loudly, and his body behaves just like John's body does, and this person is conscious, and he also says that he doesn't remember anything. Here everyone remembers nothing. There were no computers or mobile phones, so they could not contact anyone even though they had their own ID cards. They know their names. A woman's name is Sharon, a man's name is Michael, and the man with a rifle is Lucas' name, and the one who just regained consciousness is Nathan, but John and the Chinese woman had no ID, so they don't know their names. John asks the Chinese woman why she saved him. Everyone else tells him that she is dumb. She can hear, but can't speak. But he knows more about it than most of them, because it pleased him first. Then they decide to search the house to find a way out of the house. In the storeroom, they see a calendar where the date is circled as April 18th, and according to the calendar, today is the 16th. That is, something is going to happen the day after tomorrow. Then the Lucas and the Chinese get the same mark on their hands, and Michael finds a room with many weapons. Everyone thinks to take a gun so that they are ready if they are attacked. Then John goes to take a bath while taking a bath. He has some flashbacks. He tries to remember who he is, what is his name, but he doesn't remember anything. Then someone shouts that the Chinese woman has run off into the woods, leaving everyone but Michael and Nathan to find them. As the group moves forward, John remembers how he was carrying a dead body with a scorpion tattooed on it. Then they see a dead body as if it was tied to a tree. Then they hear a woman screaming. Then they start moving in that direction. They find a hut inside, which they find a Chinese woman feeding another woman who has been tied up like an animal. The woman attacks Johann and says, "You have used my daughter." Johann knocks her unconscious with a rifle. They also see a CCTV camera there, which means there will be a control point. The next morning, they think of going into the woods again. Michael and the Chinese woman decide to stay at the house. Suddenly, a man is heard screaming from the woods. Michael goes there and sees a man who is locked in barbed wire. Michael tries to save him, but suddenly the man strangles Michael with the same wire. While there, the other group finds 2 cars in the woods that were hidden. Lucas finds a picture inside the car, at which everyone but John wasn't there. The Chinese woman comes in and tells everyone that Michael needs help. They all arrive and try to save Michael, but he chokes to death on his own blood. Then they all decide to split up and look around. John and Sharon are in a building. Both of them look around. Then Sharon sees a boy running. Then both of them chase after him. But the boy goes to a place and locks the gate. John tries to talk to him, but the boy shouts, "John, get out of here!" And then John finds out that his name is John. The boy leaves a dog on them, and John gets angry and tries to break the lock by shooting, but the lock doesn't break. On the other hand, Lucas starts to get sick. His head starts to ache, and he has a flashback in which he sees the Chinese woman he knows. Lucas relaxes at the house, and the Chinese woman takes Nathan to the shack, where the woman was kept tied up, but she ran away from there. Both of them start looking for her. Then Nathan finds a pair of glasses which he wears to see clearly. He realizes that it is someone's glasses. The Chinese woman goes back to the house where Lucas acts strangely and repeatedly tells the Chinese woman that he knows her. She is frightened by this strange behavior of Lucas and locks herself in a room. While looking for him, Lucas goes to a basement where he finds separate medical equipments and human brains. In the monitor, he sees what looks like a prison with the doors open, while Nathan sees the woman in the hut with her dead daughter. She calls Nathan a murderer and attacks him, so Nathan locks the prison and leaves, only to see some strange people coming towards him. Everyone is holding their heads and yelling loudly while in the basement. Lucas finds a camera on which he sees a video recording. Watch John in this video where he says that this is chapter 96 of a research. This injection had a positive reaction on humans, but has the side effect of memory loss. In John's experiment, the man initially loses his consciousness and finally dies. but after a while he regains consciousness, but does not remember anything. In the video, Lucas and the Chinese woman are among the same human subjects, and then John and Sharon return, where Lucas is standing in front of them with a gun and points at John, saying that this is all happening because it was experimenting on us, and there's a video recording of it. Sharon asks John to explain, but John still can't remember anything. Lucas shows Sharon the video and Sharon sides with him. John tries to prove his innocence, but Lucas knocks him unconscious with a gun. After regaining consciousness, he sees Lucas throw him back into the same pile of corpses. John sees a girl with a scorpion tattoo, and Lucas also acts strangely and asks Sharon for the car keys. Sharon tells him to calm down, but he acts strangely towards Sharon. Sharon shoots him with a gun and scares him away, while the Chinese woman pulls John out. John then goes to the same building that the little boy went to. John sees the place as a medical camp where he finds a map with a route highlighted. He starts having flashbacks in which he sees him asking a man to transport a container. Then John sees an infected woman in the building and accidentally drops the car keys. Then the infected woman swallows him and attacks John, but John kills her. Then we see John driving the car, and his key is covered in blood, which means that he took out the key by tearing open the woman's stomach. On the way, he finds the same boy and locks his infected mother inside the car. The boy's grandmother points a gun at John and says, "Don't bother us with that injection again." John asks her what he did, but they leave. John finds the same container next to the car that he saw in the flashback. He has another flashback, and he remembers that a virus that kills the human brain has spread in the world, and the vaccine was in the same container. Inside the car, he finds the body of a driver and a picture of John and Sharon together. They seemed quite happy. Just then, Lucas crashes his car. Lucas has been behaving very strangely. John tries to explain everything to him. He thinks of giving him the vaccine, but Lucas attacks him. Then John kills him, and Lucas has a flashback before he dies, in which he says thank you to John. The others were there and celebrating something. But then an infected woman comes and attacks them, and Nathan remembers everything and goes to Sharon. But then these infected people attack them, and the both fight them while John remembers a flashback of the day when everything went wrong. John tells them to go home and inject themselves with the vaccine, but an infected person throws him in the pile of corpses. It's morning and it's the 18th. Nathan and Sharon are trapped inside the house, and John is going to them when they hear the sound of a helicopter in the distance. And outside, the infected people start dying one by one. Then Nathan remembers that there was going to be a rescue operation on the 18th. He goes out and tells the military that he is not infected, so don't shoot. But the military got orders to kill everyone, so they kill Nathan. John and Sharon get scared when they see this, and they both run away, where the Chinese woman is hiding. Sharon is stabbed in the back by the shack woman. John shoots her and kills her, then takes Sharon to the pile of corpses to hide in. John injects them both with the vaccine, and before he faints, Sharon gives him a letter so that he remembers everything after he regains consciousness. After a while, John opens his eyes, but again he forgets everything. There, that note also fell from his hand. Again, that Chinese woman came and saved him. After that, we hear Sharon's voice in the background. She wrote in the note that they are all doctors, and they are fighting a dangerous epidemic. The vaccine of this virus was made from this Chinese woman because her body is naturally immune to the virus, so it is very important to save his life, and with that, the movie ends. So friends, how did you like this movie? Let us know by commenting below.